Hey, y'all gotta see this. Can you see that? I don't know if y'all can see that. There's Broody. I'm hoping you're seeing this. This is Broody and my kitties. The kitties came. And there's Merle. We're on the walk. And today, I want to talk about songwriting. I'm a songwriter. And for as long as I can remember, when I was a little bitty girl, I knew I wanted to be a writer. I was a poet from as early as you could put two sentences together. I was already making them rhyme. I guess I got that from my dad. Daddy was a salesman, and he knew a lot of jokes, a lot of dirty jokes, and a lot of little nasty songs. And he would sing me little songs to make me laugh, like, oh, beans, beans, the musical fruit. Now everybody's daddy knows that one, but he had some other ones. Here comes Susan sitting in the grass, a finger in her ear and a finger in her nose, and it goes, that's not the way it goes. Anyway, he was really funny, and I wanted to be just like him. Just like him. I thought he was the handsomest man in the whole wide world. Looked like Burt Reynolds and James Gardner had a baby, and that would be my dad. But I think, hearing his little silly songs and stuff, I just started learning to rhyme from an early age. And I knew I wanted to be a writer. I would, write poetry and wrote a lot of poetry. Then when I was in high school, I auditioned for this school we have here, the Alabama School of Fine Arts, as a creative writing student. And I went there for my junior and senior year in high school, and I have lots of stories about ASFA that I will tell you one day, not in this video though. So anyhow, from an early age I knew I wanted to be a writer, and never made any money at it. Now I take that back, I made $15. Got a poem published in Writer's Digest when I was 18, called In Place of Poems. Funny enough, it was about, golly, hadn't thought about that in a long time. Funny enough, it was about going to a place in nature, like this, and writing. So, just walked up a hill, a little winded. Let's find us a spot to sit down. So, anyway, so how do I write a song? That's interesting, because sometimes songs come to me like they're fully formed entities, like somebody else wrote them a long time ago, and I just know them, and they'll strike me. Like, I could be doing anything. I could be working or driving, cleaning the house. I get a lot of them cleaning the house. And like I'll get one line. Like I got this song called What's Right is Wrong, What's Wrong Seems Right. And the interesting thing about that song is I was cleaning the house, and we had just bought a couch at the thrift store. And we had just took our old couch out and burned it in the yard. So I'm cleaning, and just out of the blue I sing, well, I bought a new couch at the thrifty barn, took the old one out, burned it in the yard. That's one real good thing about living in the country. And I was like, okay. I mean, it came to me like that, like there was the pause between the lines and everything. I heard it like that. I didn't pause because I forgot the words. I paused because it came in that kind of rhythm. So I go over to the desk, and I get the paper, and I sit down and I write it. And one song I wrote, I can't remember, I don't think it was that one. But one song I wrote, probably just like that, it came out in pieces. Like the last verse came out first, and then every time I would get a verse like downloaded, I would write it on a piece of paper, and then I took the 4 pieces of paper and I switched them around and looked down like, dadgum, there's a song. Then one time I got this other song called Sophia Rising. And the interesting story about that song is whenever I would think of motivational quotes or hear something from, in a video or read something like Dave Asprey says, I avoid things that make me weak and I seek things that make me strong. So I adopted that and I wrote it on my pantry door in my kitchen where I see it every day. And then I heard something from Napoleon Hill. What the mind conceives and the heart believes you can achieve. So I wrote that down. I tried to think of what do I love more than anything, above all things? Freedom. And I wrote that down at the very top of the door. And if you look at the video of me doing Sophia Rising, I'm sitting in front of that pantry door and you can see all those things written on there. And it said, I value freedom above all else. I love my neighbor as myself. I avoid things that make me weak and I seek things that make me strong. So that's the first line of the song because that's exactly what was written on the pantry door. So I just looked at it one day and I would say these things every day to myself before I left the house. I would, say, avoid things that make me weak. I would just say them a couple of times with feeling, like I really meant it. I would get into it and, try to motivate myself for the day. And one day I just looked at it and I just sang it. And I was like, oh snap. Another song. And then just with a fine bit of editing, I basically said what was on my door. So those are, then I have this other song called Snakes for the Lord. That one was perfectly crafted. It came out of my mind, it didn't come from above. It was like I wrote that. I deliberately wrote that. I made the story up from things that happened in my life. Like there really is a pastor that we know that offered $20 for a rattlesnake. And there's Creepy. Hey, Creepy. He's playing Mountain Lion. Beautiful Creepy. He's my snuggle bug. Anyway, so there really is a pastor up here that's paying money for snakes. And I just sort of thought, golly, what if some kids tried to make some money? And I just sort of made that story up in my head of what could happen. But I changed the pastor's name from his name in real life to Pastor Tom, because as I was thinking about the song, sometimes other songs inspire you. So I had the rhythm of Tom T. Hall's A Week in the County Jail in my head. And there's a certain cadence that the words fall in. And so I just took that cadence to my rhyme scheme, and then there you go. So anyhow, for an honor or tribute to Tom T. Hall, who is an inspiration to me. I would love to meet you if you're out there and watching this, Tom. Look me up. Anyway, I admire his writing ability so much. I love his music. And so I paid him a little tribute by naming my pastor after him. And I also paid tribute to another songwriter I really admire, John Prine. Love him. Seen him a bunch of times. So yeah, that's just a little bit about, I don't want to make this video too long, but that's just a little bit about how I go about writing a song. If you ever want to know, do you write songs? If you do, comment below. Tell me about your writing process and, some of the things that inspire you. All right. Salute.